Marshall Fairbrother. Goal.
Well, hello everyone, welcome to another stream. I got your message, test message, Marshall's that's working. And yeah, we're here on the ground in oh, I need to get
Tyler Chambliss.
pack X.
I see you're using the sound pack I suggested. Very good.
Get rid of the hood. I'm using the FT sim pack, yeah, Tyler, yeah, it's pretty nice. So we're here in Daytona Beach. I just landed into here from JFK. And so we're on a turnaround state at the moment, just boarding for the flight down to Cleveland, so I thought I'd do a stream on this to do a stream and show off the sound pack a little bit. Yeah, so for those who don't know, we are using a new sound pack. Pretty good sound pack. It's from KKI or FT Sim or whatever he's called. I mean, a bit of a faff to install, I will say that. I wish he'd just provide an installer, but perhaps that's not his fault. Perhaps there's some limitations to how these things can be installed in a third-party aircraft. I have no idea. And yeah, I generally like it. I think it's more balanced. I think some of the pitches on takeoff can be a little bit weird.
Maybe you can help me figure out an issue with FSFO.
Maybe. You have to tell me what the issue is, maybe I can help you. Speaking of FSFO, let's get him to start doing his thing. So yeah, no, I think it's a pretty good sound pack, and I like it generally, yeah. To connect this up. And start him doing his flow. Hopefully he realizes that we are in a bit of a turnaround state here and doesn't do anything stupid like turning everything off again. He shouldn't do. We have our SimBrief flight plan in place and we will go and download it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Tyler Chambliss. When I go to do a turnaround, he doesn't power up the plane or get the plan from SimBrief.
Okay, well, we'll see if he gets the plan from SimBrief. In terms of powering the plane up, I mean, I manually requested ground power, and then he shut off the APU during the secure flow.
I hear great sounds. Very nice. Have a good flight.
Hey Robert, thanks. And yeah, great news. Yeah, that's normal. Great news about your first flight with your brother you did earlier. And here we go, 9 files have been saved from SimBrief. For both sims, they get all these flight plans, and most of them I don't even need. Anyway. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, I had to connect chocks and ground power. We can go and see if he's pulled it from SimBrief. I just restarted the app, Tyler. Have a look. Performance, yeah, it's pulled it. KDAB is 7 left for departure, etc. So yeah, seems okay. Actually, while I'm here, I may as well set. I don't know why. I mean, you're supposed to be able to. Where is it? Set this to yes. Tell it we're doing a sit, I think, but it still never turns mail nav on properly. Right. So Well, you know what, let's go do our fuel first.
Tyler Chambliss. So that's my problem. I guess I have to manually connect the GPU because he does the flow as if everything's working but with no power, so he's basically flipping switches for nothing.
Yeah, connect the chocks, request the ground power, and then do the secure flow. Then he will shut off the APU, and you'll be on ground power. Well, turn ground power on before you do the secure flow, and then you'll be on ground power. So alternate is Detroit 340, airtime 158, and we'll just round that up to 20,000. And then 0 fuel weight 1206, which gives us a load level. No, I wasn't even on the right thing. What happened there? I don't know. Let's go do that again. 1206. Should be. It's got something stuck in this scratch pad, hasn't it? Yeah, get out of here. I just want to see a load level. 60.8% load level. Okay. Yeah, I need to go to init-ref again. Our reference airport is going to be Kilo Delta Alpha Bravo, Daytona, and then pull this IRS and align it. Perfect. Route page. Now, I don't get this co-route thing in it's always an MSFS as well. So here we go. Look, let me show you. If you type KDAB to KCLE, for whatever reason, it's got KDAB. I think the problem may be that it's still got something in the scratch pad. It just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to the TFM redesign of the FMC. And that's going to help us out here. Right. See, it's still got something in here. Get that out. You're just making it more difficult. Right. KDAB, KCLE. And I bet it's going to still... Okay, it's got it. It's got the co-route. Excellent.
Tyler Chambliss. So I have the 737 to 600 and have been flying that a lot in FSFS, but I'm trying to decide between the -700 and -800 to purchase next. Which one do you think I should grab next?
Good question. I mean, probably the 800. More real-world routes, if that's what you're into doing.
Once all your items are put away,
Bit of a longer aircraft.
sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row,
So, departure out of here is the row 7. Let's have a little look. So we're just going to do runway 7 left, row 7, no transition. I also forgot to do repilot. Let's do repilot. I would be surprised if we have any ATC here. I don't care about your update right now. Come on, please. Thank you. And we're now at 738. Got to do a few formalities here, guys. And then I just got to go and do my FS Airlines flight plan. Do you, file, we got some interesting, we got quite a bit of ATC here. We might get some en route, but nothing that covers, surely, I don't think Miami covers here. Our request is info, just to check. I don't think I do not control MCO, I control TPA. Really?
Tyler Chambliss. Well, I've been thinking
I'm
the
just gonna
minus
check this
700
guy.
because its BBJ variant has the auxiliary fuel tanks, so I can do some long haul stuff in MSFS.
I guess, yeah, there's another consideration. I mean, it's very difficult to say. It depends how you want to use the plane, yeah. If you like doing real world flights, I'd say the 800. You know, you bring up a good point about the 700. You know, I mean, the BBJ version anyway. I mean, if you can only buy one, I mean, it depends. I mean, the 900 should be coming pretty soon. If you really like the 900, you know. Like, it's all personal preference. I only have the 7 and 800. I could easily buy the 600 if I wanted to. I just haven't yet. I don't fly it all that often. I don't know. I will buy it probably at some point, but I haven't really felt the need to right now. I've got it in P3D, and P3D is still very respectable. So. Right, yeah, we're not controlled by that guy. He's too far away. Squawk is set to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll do a squawk 2000 for now. Right, let me go do my FS Airlines here on BVI. We're going to be KDAB, KCLE. That's all fine, don't care, whatever, go. That's fine, whatever. Go. Cleveland. 738. And get some packages. Table with 4 rows. Can't many for Cleveland. Probably more for Detroit. Okay. Right, that's the formalities
Tyler
done.
Chambliss.
FS Airlines.
The only reason why I bought the minus 600 is because it was the cheapest and I wanted to have something to test MSFS with at first.
Are you ready for the briefing? It
Oh,
will be a
not
left
this
seat
briefing.
takeoff from Kilo, Delta, Alpha, Bravo, 2, Kilo, Charlie,
Lima, Echo.
Taxi route is
Shut
for
up.
ATC instructions.
This is
We'll be
bloody
departing on runway 07
Lima.
Lima, climbing via the departure procedures to an initial altitude of 34,000 feet. Standard reject and emergency procedures apply. Any questions?
Yeah, why does that voice sound so annoying? Okay. That briefing's pretty interesting. You know, if he could actually pull more info from Navigraph about the SID and stuff, then that would make that briefing very useful. But okay. The 600 because it was cheapest. Yeah, that makes sense. No, I recommended that as well to a lot of people. Like if you're looking for the cheapest setup, I mean, you can pretty much get MSFS on Game Pass, pmdg 736, First Officer next. Yeah, go. You know, you're done. You're good. You're great. You've got a perfectly usable aircraft. It's a great plane for a cheap price. Why not? Right, we did that in a ref, so we're going to be 340. Throw our 0 fuel weight in. Reserves can just be 4, and let's have a little check what our cost index was supposed to be 23. And we should be good to go. Let's make sure nothing's... Yeah, TFM threw a random 4 in there for some reason from the... don't know where that's from. To be
Tyler
honest.
Chambliss.
Go.
I have them all in P3D as well.
Yeah, I have them all in P2D as well, which is part of the reason I didn't get the 600 because... like, well, I if I really wanted to fly the 600, which is pretty rare, I'll just fly it in P3D. Obviously the sounds are a little bit less. N1 limit, so it's about a 10,500 foot runway from when I landed in here, so you know what, let's just do TO, and then we'll go back to climb 1. That should allow us to hear the sounds go full rip as well. Should be pretty fun. Flaps are 5, and we'll throw the CG in here, which gives us 134, 136, 146. That works for me. So
it's not brought Harland on yet.
okay. Yep, first officer's done all that for me. Let's go and do a wind request. Hopefully these passengers are hurrying up on the boarding back there. Load. Okay. And that's good. Let's check. Doors are all closed up already. Let's see if there's anyone nearby. No, just an American. And let's do some checklists here.
Test it.
Navigation transfer and display switches.
Normal and auto.
I'm not a fan of that second first officer voice.
Auto.
I know it used
Heading
the
set
same
altimeter
voice
set.
before and
Set.
Tyler Chambliss.
Cut off.
it's kind of
I
weird.
hope when they make the 747 for MSFS they don't make the A cars a MANDI thing.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened with that. I mean, they've been talking about this PMDG, like, what is it, Global A-Cars or something for years. I remember them announcing that whole concept at the expo back in, like, 2019 or something. Don't know what happened there. Probably still on the list of things to do. And then MSFS came along, so... But yeah, the A-Cars in the 7.4, it'd be nice if it wasn't mandatory, yeah. It's kind of annoying. Right, let's get our APU fired up here. Let's have a listen to it on the outside view while those passengers continue boarding. Tried out FS Realistic the other day, by the way. I didn't really like that either. Didn't do much. Problem with it is you've got to have a good profile or customize your profile, and it's very difficult to do. You have to mainly use OCR to get around the thing. So, not a big fan of FS Realistic. Which is a shame. Nice. I think.
Good afternoon, ladies and
Yeah, our
gentlemen,
packs
and
are
welcome aboard
boarded.
flight 02 with service to Ohio. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 58 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices
Let's go and
are
set
not
up our
down.
pushback then.
Please fasten your seatbelt and make
As
sure
he does
that
our
all
fuel
kids
pumps.
and
You can
old
actually hear the fuel pumps on the outside, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, there you go, look. There's fuel pumps. He's setting the flaps. Now I believe that is I don't know why he's doing that. There was something to do with icing
Tyler
procedures in the
Chambliss.
new update, I think.
You can edit the profiles manually in Notepad. Very simple. Also, if you haven't, I'd suggest getting FSLTL.
I already have FSLTL, and I know you can edit the profiles, but it's not quite as simple as it might seem. I tried to do it, but it didn't really do anything. Like, even enabling, it was supposed to have cabin ambience, it was supposed to have the random sounds in the cockpit, it was supposed to have the toilet flushers on, it was supposed to have roll. Nothing happened. I even tried getting someone else's profile, and yeah, didn't work very well. Pasted it in, it picked it up. Whether they hadn't put those things on in their profile, I don't know, but it didn't seem to do much at all. Certainly not worth my money unless there's a profile that you can put in that actually has that all enabled. And yeah, we're using FSLTL. Well, I'm not running live traffic right now because doing that on BatSim is kind of weird. I guess you could do, but the models on BatSim will be FSLTL.
Tyler Chambliss. Weird. It works for me.
Yeah, I mean, I could enable things, but then there was also things where you had to link it directly to sounds and stuff, and it didn't do much. Even trying to link it to the correct sound files, but yeah. I've got sim sounds anyway, so I'm not too bothered. I can easily use that. But to be honest, with this sound pack, I haven't had to use sim sounds. This sound pack's pretty good. Ground roll, the nose wheel,
Robert Hoodin.
and all that touchdown
Yes,
is great.
you hear the fuel pumps.
Yeah, you do hear
I
the fuel
remember it
pumps.
from
Yeah,
real world flights
still
as
right
well.
here. Look, it's really cool. You can actually hear them on if you move the camera. It's really cool. Yeah, like the nose wheel, the engine starts through my bass transducer on the chair that I use is really good on this sound pack. Just great. Right, I was going to do pushback. So we need to push to the right. So we'll just get hold of this guy. You choose a tug. Start.
Cockpit is round. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready to push. Tail to the left. Park brakes off.
Alright, do that for this.
He's about to deploy Harland, I think.
Brakes released.
Yeah, whatever.
Brakes released. Here we go.
And have a look here. We've got a vector departure. And she's going to go ahead and do the safety video in the back. We're not using any kind of safety video. By the way, I've seen several people saying that, oh, you know, the BVI safety videos are way too long that you can download. They're not, you know, they're just there as a, if you want to use them, if you don't. But do remember that when you're playing them, any safety video is supposed to play during taxi, and we don't taxi, so that cuts off about 5 minutes to 10 minutes that you're just going to sit there with the video playing when you'd normally be taxiing. And as a second point, they also have things in them that normal safety videos wouldn't, because we customized them as if it was for a like, you know, an airline of
Yeah, it was heavily
oh my god,
designed for that.
it was designed as if, you know, we were a special airline carrying a lot of passengers with disabilities, so there were extra things. So you're welcome to make your own.
Donations are not necessary.
But yeah.
If you would like to support the stream in any way, visit https://www.paypal.me/pipalox.
Right, let's get these engines on whilst we're pushing back.
Flip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tighten. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting aircraft. If your life vest does not inflate automatically, blow into the mouthpiece for manual inflation. This vest is equipped with a whistle and light. If necessary, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat, put your arms into the strap, and hug the cushion to your chest. Please securely stow your personal items.
Right, let's get this brake set. Hold the thing down and then, yeah, there we go.
Remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the laboratories is prohibited by law. All of this information and more can be found in the safety grid located in the seat back in front of you. It's just reading this and letting the cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Yeah, and also remember with the safety videos, if you're flying a 747, if you use the 747, then it's going to take way longer to start than the 737. This 73 obviously takes like 2 minutes to start. If you're in a 74, it can be anywhere up to 5 minutes. So it really depends what aircraft you're in as well. You weren't that impressed with sim sounds. Well, remember a lot of it's designed for butt kickers and not for speakers, so some of it doesn't really sound right coming through speakers. I mean, take the turbulent sounds, you don't really hear them through speakers, they're just like this weird bass juddering sound if you listen to them to the human ear, but through the butt kickers they actually feel like, you know, it's shaking. So a lot of it's designed for butt kickers. But yeah, like I say, I mean, I'm really happy with this sound pack because I actually don't really need sim sounds, to be honest with you. This sound pack pretty much does everything. Like it's got great sound sort of through the speakers and through the stream and everything, but it's also got a lot of bass, as well, which is really nice. Check the doors, that is done because they're all closed. And we can switch over from the APU now, and he's doing his stuff.
Oh, I think Mum's doing mashed potato, that's nice.
Okay. Can't go wrong with mashed potato.
Yeah, she just has a certain way of doing it that you can, well, when you've been in here for years, you can just tell what she's doing.
Tyler Chambliss. The one thing it's missing is turbulence sounds. The default pmdg didn't have it either though.
Oh really? They didn't have it? That's interesting. They have them in P3D. Yeah.
Taxi checklist. Generators.
On.
Pro heat.
On.
Anti-ice.
Still
Set.
only 3-0, bad boy.
Auto.
Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Check.
Yeah.
Auto brakes.
RTO.
Flight controls.
Right, flight control tests. Here we go.
Full right. Full back. Full forward. Rudder full left.
Trim is
Check.
at about
Clear.
2.5. I said that during the turnaround, so it should be okay. Let's do this now.
Before takeoff checklist.
Daytona Beach traffic, Vision
Set.
2 Delta Whiskey's a 737, shortly
Set.
repositioning at 7 left for departure. Anyone on 7 left, give us a call and we'll hold position for you. Right, cabin is also ready. I kind of highly doubt that anyone's going to be coming in or out of Daytona, but just give it a second anyway. And let's just pause the sim and go here to DAB,
Press space to load / save.
7 left.
Press home to restart. Press end to main menu. Lights load is alive.
There we go.
Is alive. Runway 77. NAV1 is live.
Just put a bit of brakes on, because it loves to. No, we're fine. Brakes were actually already on. That on for now. Okay, we're good. We're lined up. We can do you. We can do you. I didn't want to trim.
Right, I'm going to mute you on TT and mute the game because I'm going to crank this. So I can hear it.
Okay. Alright, well we'll do our best here. MSFS loves to be a little bit squirrely because I'm going to have to probably try and fly with one hand and use the keyboard to turn on LNAV and VNAV and stuff. I'll get on that field already actually. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Right. Okay, stable, turn on, go.
Crank it up, guys.
29 knots. 48 knots. 66 knots.
80 knots.
85 knots. 150 knots. 119 knots.
V1.
135 knots.
Positive rate of climb.
Tyler Chambliss. Why don't you let first officer turn your LNAV and VNAV on?
Because it doesn't do it.
It doesn't do it properly.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Pull up.
Oh my god.
Pull up. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Route Talon.
Too low.
Reading
Terrain.
spline flight simmer.
Too low. Terrain.
How's the flight?
Too low. Terrain.
Oh, this
Too
isn't
low.
good.
Terrain. Too low. Terrain.
Tyler
Flight
Chambliss.
slow.
It doesn't do it, Tyler, that's why.
No issues with that for me.
Oh, there we go. Sure. Right, we can take flaps up now. That was squirrely there for a sec.
Flaps up.
Yeah, it just, it doesn't do it. It will sometimes turn heading select on. But that's about it. It will not turn LNAV on, it doesn't turn VNAV on. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the way the config is set up. I've seen other people have exactly the same problem, so...
Group talent. Any new updates to TFM lately?
Let's just make sure LNAV goes on now. There we go. Get out of heading select mode. And we can go direct to barbs. And have to take off.
Tyler Chambliss. That's really weird.
On.
Pass.
Auto.
Yeah, it is really weird. It'd make my life a hell of a lot easier if it did it. Right, is gear up? Yeah, gear is up, it's just first off. So.
Up and off.
Flaps.
Up no lights.
Checklist complete.
It would make my life a hell of a lot easier because I'm trying to fly with one hand and open all the boxes to turn on the stuff. It's really odd. But what do you have your stuff set to then, Tyler? Because let me show you. So like my stuff here. So engage LNAV is 200, autopilot on is 400, and VNAV is 300. So it's supposed to go LNAV, VNAV, AP on. That's how it's supposed to work. I wonder if AP needs to be engaged first. I wonder if that's the problem. What values do you have yours set to? Because yeah, it's just never. Oops, headset died there. Yeah, it just never does it. Never does it. Right. Looks like we're good now.
Donations are not necessary.
And tracking this waypoint.
Anyway, visit https://www.paypal.me/pipalots. Tyler Chambliss. All set to 300 feet.
Oh, that's interesting. So you have them all set to the same altitude. Okay, well, I'll try it. See if it makes any difference. I mean, it shouldn't make any difference, to be honest, what they're set to. Like if it does one after the other, or whatever. I mean, you can have LNAV armed and then VNAV and then turn Command A on, but yeah, I don't know. I'll try it, see if it works. That was squirrely there for a minute on takeoff. It loves to go left as well for some reason.
Flying right now? You and Tyler?
No, Tyler's just in chat. I don't know if he's flying right now. Oh yeah. So your other question was: there any updates to TFM? From which point are you talking about? I mean, they're now working on the 747. They've released some. They've recently done the control stand in the 737. That panel, they fixed some of the ILS bugs that were in. They figured out what that was. So yeah, there's been a couple updates to the previews.
So everything's done for the 737 now?
Yeah, pretty much. All the panels are done. The only things that we don't have access to are things that pmdg don't give us access to because of legal reasons. And yeah, I mean, the 737 is pretty much done. They're working on an FMC redesign, just in terms of how the FMC window looks visually, and a couple of other non-visual changes.
Good afternoon. Are we on the climb, or is this cruise? Sounding very good and very similar to sitting up front.
Yeah, we're on the climb now, coming through 13,400. 300 knots, so yeah, I'd say so. I think it sounds pretty good. The engines definitely start fading out at this point, so yeah. Let's make sure the airplane's all good after that little squirrely takeoff. That's not what I wanted actually. I want aircraft failures. No, we don't have any failures. Okay, good. I didn't think so. We didn't actually hit anything. We were just not climbing as fast as we should have been.
Tyler Chambliss. Have you managed to get to the passenger cabin perspective yet?
No, I haven't even tried that. There doesn't really seem to be, at least in the default sounds, much of a difference noticeably from videos that I've seen.
Is this for
yet.
both P3D and Flight Simulator? Or is it done just for P3D and they have to work on it for FS2020?
It's cross-compatible, so it'll work for both. Yeah, anything that they change will automatically get changed in both, which is the great thing. Did PA6 turn off its seatbelt signs or what? No, it must have done.
Group talent. Oh cool. Leo should know about this. I'll tell him now.
Yeah, sounds good.
Robert Hood. The sounds are good. But understand FSFO is hard, I think.
Yeah, I mean FSFO still has some bugs here and there. I'd say it's pretty much got to the point now where there's not so many at all. I mean it used to do some very odd things. Some of the flows had issues, you know, like it used to miss time when it would switch from the APU sometimes on after landing and things, and then you would lose power. But now it's all pretty much straightened out. There's definitely still some weird things, like as you saw there, it didn't engage LNAV and VNAV and autopilot, and so I had to try and do it all by hand, which is why the takeoff was like not climbing as fast as we should have been, because I had to let go of the stick for a minute to try and engage the stuff. So that's still a bit of a problem, and I'm not really sure why that's happening. But it's a pretty good program, and it'll make your life easier. Some people like it, and some people want to do everything themselves. Either way works really well now. I mean, we can do everything ourselves with the TFM. So. It's a real shame you can't set pmdg hotkeys up in 2020 like you could in P3D, because then you could just set up LNAV and VNAV and that wouldn't be a problem. So, but I'll tell you what, let's so you have, let's have a look, user.dat. So if I just change this 300, 300, and 200, or 200, 300. Right, so they're now all exactly the same altitude, so yes, we'll see on the next takeoff when I do another flight if that helps with engaging all that.
Still not deployed Harland. Or at least I don't think he has. He hasn't touched the ball. I'm gonna
I have no idea what you said. That was not really understandable.
if this is actually working, I'm gonna have to go eat.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I will be back.
Okay, we reach cruise. I wonder how we get to the cabin. Right, I thought shift control arrows should move around. That's all well and good, it probably is, but I don't know how you get out of the cockpit. You don't have to unlock the door, you just have to, I think you can just like walk through it, but to be honest.
Gear up.
You can kind of hear we're moving around, but I don't think we're going into the cabin. Gear is off, that's just first officer. Yeah. Who knows? Don't know. Either way, they definitely need to work on, or pmdg default sounds need to work on the cabin sounds. But they are, it's a work in progress. 2-4 right is correct for our arrival. You'll get those messages a lot for new pilots about unable speed or no descent path after blah blah blah. The no descent path is because we have a vector point, so it's yeah, sure. Don't worry about that. And then the 280 knots one, well, if we look at what it's aiming for in terms of our speed on descent, we can see that because of the cost index, it's aiming for 0.76 to 265 knots in the transition. So yeah, obviously you'll enable 280 knots. Even now we're only going 0.76 because the cost index was only 20 something, 23 I think. KCHS. Didn't even put the name, I have no idea then. Shots. Okay. Indianapolis Center's online.
Robert Wood. Is there already a better way to get transition altitudes, or is FS tram still the way to do it? And what is the best place to have a look to the charts?
That's a great question, to be honest with you, Robert, because obviously we can't look at charts. So I still use FS Tram sometimes to load my flight plan and look at the procedures, SIDS and stars, because it puts them in a very nice format. It puts them in a text box where you can actually see all the instructions, and it'll put it out in a like a narrative like format. So it'll say like descend to 10,000 and you know, go direct to waypoint X, speed 240 knot. It'll give it you all in a nice format, and you can copy that text into a notepad file if you want. Is it worth, you know, someone who's not already got tram? I use it to fly the freeware planes as well, but if you don't do that, then it's probably not worth it. The way you can easily find out about transitions for the approach, especially, SIDS and stars are generally very easy. You can look on SimBrief. So for example, here's SimBrief. Look, we've got Roland 2 is our arrival, and Janice is the waypoint before Roland 2, and I can see that there's a transition on the left side of the FMC for Janice. In terms of the approach transition, one way of doing it is before you hit execute, after you've set up your arrival, to go to the legs page, and you'll be able to see a modified legs page. And this is the legs page with your approach that you've just inserted on the arrival page. It's not been executed yet, so it's not been inserted, but it's just a demonstration of what's been you know, what you're going to put in if you hit execute. So you can go in there and you can look at what's there, and especially if there's a route discontinuity, you can see what the waypoint is just before the route discontinuity, and that's probably a good indicator that there's a transition onto the approach. And if that's the case, then you can go back to the arrival page and you can redo your approach and actually choose the transition this time around and then hit execute. So you can do that with the pmdg still, and it's a good way to find out whether there's an approach transition, because it is important to get that approach transition. It really does make the approach a lot easier. But in terms of actual charts, yeah, there is really no way for us to read them. That's the good thing about the legs page though in the 737 FMC. Whenever you make a change, even for example, let's say I do a direct here and I bring waypoint 2 up to waypoint 1, I have execute light made available, of course, and if you go back to the page, it actually says mod RTE instead of act RTE, and that means mod for modified, and act is obviously usually your active. So what I can do then is if I don't like what I've done, just hit erase at the bottom and then it gets rid of what I've done. So you can always kind of get a preview of the change that you're going to make before you make it, whether that be an arrival that you're trying to insert, a direct you're trying to take, something like that. You can always get a nice preview before you hit execute. And it's always really important to check things before you hit execute. I mean, there's been real life crashes that have been caused by pilots just one quite famous one in American Airlines into Colombia, and they chose the wrong way. When you type in a new waypoint into the FMC manually, you can type in waypoints. It often gives you a list of waypoints if there's multiple, and they chose the wrong one and just didn't check whether it was actually the one they wanted, because it was, you know, there were multiple waypoints under the same name, and hit execute, and then yeah, that was it. The plane turned in the wrong direction and hit a mountain. So airlines always have a procedure where, you know, like if you're going to execute something, you cross-check it.
I think I understand. It's the best to do it myself and give it time to figure it out. But learning before actual starting seems to be good.
Yeah, for sure. I think you'll definitely get a better understanding of exactly what I'm on about when you set up an FMC and you know, that you go somewhere where there's a transition. But at least you'll have an understanding of it even before you head in there to do it for real. I mean, it is a difficult thing choosing transitions. That is one of the trickiest things for us blind pilots, because it makes things so much easier when you've got access to charts and you can easily see that, oh, this point and this point line up with each other, so this is the transition and blah blah blah, and you can get a visual preview of exactly how you're going to fly and approach. Whereas we kind of, just have to trust that the FMC is going to do the right thing. And there's some really complex RNAV approaches coming out nowadays as well. I mean, that's where the PMDG really can do well, is because places like Madeira in Portugal or somewhere like that, there's a lot of terrain around. They're coming out with really advanced RNAV approaches now that can pretty much take you right down to the runway, around all the terrain, just by having the autopilot on and flying the correct approach. Okay, yeah.
How are we doing?
Well, we're not dying. We're at 34,000 still. Pretty okay. Given the first officer tried to kill us just an hour ago by not doing his job. And fuel looks good on arrival. Play a bit of live ATC for Cleveland to see what's going on there. If it'll play. Put the approach frequency in.
Chelsea lost, I guess that was no surprise.
Yeah, they lost 4-0. Aston Villa lost 2-1 to Stevenage.
What?
Yeah, Stevenage scored twice in the last 3 minutes.
What? What the fuck? I have to go and watch that back.
Chambliss. Hey Declan. You know, The Last of Us Part 1 is coming to PC in March.
Oh, is it really? airplanes on this ATC feed. We can only hear ATC.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this Aston Villa losing.
No, the ATC
Tyler
feed's not very
Chambliss.
good.
You should pre-order it on Steam as soon as you can.
Why, can only so many people get it or something, or can you just buy it in March?
Tyler Chambliss. It's cheaper while the pre-order is available.
What even is it? Is it a story-based game, or? Never really grabbed my attention, to be honest. But then again, I don't really do many other audio games or whatever.
Robert Cooper. Well, credits to you for sharing for all you know and always be helpful to flight sim hobbyists.
Oh, thanks, Robert. Appreciate it.
Oh. I don't think we can get it yet.
My guys were just gonna move channels on the server. Hey, John. Yeah, pretty good, yeah. I think it's good. I think it's not too bad, yeah. Yeah, we got back on Thursday. Oh, you know, sun, food, heated pools, that kind of thing. No, no. Christmas getaway. Oh, boo.
Tyler Chambliss. It's a zombie shooter survival story game. And it's definitely not an audio game. This is a mainstream game that used to be exclusive to PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. I'll take a look into it, Tyler. I mean, I used to play some Undead Assault, so it might be interesting. I mean, it's not. I'm not. You know, it's on top of my list, put it that way. But I'll maybe take a look at it. I'll see if there's some. I'm sure that people have played it on console in the past, if that's what it was on.
Tyler Chambliss. Fully accessible and playable. It even has audio descriptions for the cutscenes. This is worth a look. Robert Whitten. Did you ever visit a real cockpit?
Yeah, he's talking about this, The Last of Us Part 1 coming to PC. I've definitely heard of it, yeah. I don't play a lot of other stuff, to be honest. Did I ever visit a real cockpit, Robert? Yes, a 737 and an A320, but only when we've been sat on the ground after landing, I think, for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, that kind of thing. But yeah, I have. I was quite a bit younger, so I don't remember a lot about it, to be honest. Which is a shame. I'd love to do it again. Just a lot of the flights we go on, we're either in a bush or the flight crew are in a bush. And, you know, you don't want to bother and keep pestering them to try and get in there. So. Yeah, I usually try and speak to the flight crew. I mean, a lot of the time, if you're kind of stood out at the front, you know, even if you're waiting to use the toilets or something, you might catch one of them coming out of the cockpit or something.
Donations are not necessary, but if you would like to support the stream in any way, visit https://www.paypal.me/bivalogs.
Trying this new soundpack for the 737 in MSFS. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a bit of a pain, I'll be honest with you. I wish they'd just give you an installer, but you gotta. Well, replacing the folders is difficult, but then you've got to go into some files and make some edits. It's not too bad though. I mean, anyone who kind of knows what they're doing should be able to do it just fine.
There's the goal.
Yeah, if it was just an install. Yeah, I mean immersive audio does the same thing. Like you got to paste all the folders still. There's no installer. Well, there is an installer, but it just puts them wherever you tell it to. It doesn't actually install them into the aircraft.
Robert Hoover. Me too. Also 737 and A320. I walk always one time up and down the plane. And one time I had luck that someone was able to ask for me to visit and turn around the state. Tyler Chambliss. I wonder if EA will ever improve accessibility in FEFA and Madden this year. Probably not.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, Robert. I actually got to do that the other day because we were right at the back of the 737 and they didn't put rear stairs on the plane, so we had to go all the way to the front. And it was pretty cool to walk the full length of the plane right from the back row to the front and see just how long it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it once. Well, I mean, we had at a college where I studied at, they had an Airbus cabin section in the car park was past there for the courses, and I got to go in there.
Yeah, man, they should have kept the cockpit on that thing and given us access. Could have hooked it up to the simulator. You wonder if EA will give us give more accessibility on FIFA and Madden. I wish they did FIFA. Yeah, FIFA is playable.
I wish they did.
upgrade though.
Yeah. It has actually got worse in the past couple of months since I last ran it.
Yeah, I mean, we used to be able to load into a game pretty easily, and then you could use the very basic commentary and bull sound to try and play a game, and on easy mode it was pretty doable, but now it's even more difficult to load into a game for whatever reason. The menus are even worse.
Yeah. I decided a couple weeks ago or whatever when I went to another season of the club I was doing career mode with, and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to have a lot to do over Christmas, so I'll do the season. Yeah, those plans were not able to be built. Got rid of it in the end.
Robert Hood. There is a museum here in Holland where there is a 737-200 Kumi. There you can feel a lot of things. The plane is connected to ground power. Eric Horizend. Hello.
Oh wow, a
Does the channel have Discord or
737-200.
something similar
Wow.
to interact?
That's pretty crazy. I bet that, I don't know, have you been inside the cabin of it? Is it kind of, I guess it's interesting. Does it feel a lot different to the regular?
Robert Hood. Sorry 747 I meant.
Oh, a 747. Okay. Wow, that's wow. How much have they got of the 747? Like the whole thing, or just a section?
Ezra White. Hey my man. Tyler Chambliss.
Oh wow, chat's blowing up
One
here.
thing I'd love to see
Keep track.
accessible is The Sims. I've always wanted an accessible life sim.
Um,
Unfortunately, everyone blind devs have tried to do has fallen flat on their faces.
Hey Ezra, welcome along. I saw you sent me a message, by the way. I'll get to it at some point in a minute here. Oh, is there a yeah, Ezra's doing pretty good on the fly, man. Is there a Discord channel, or is there a Discord for the channel? There's not a Discord. We have a WhatsApp BBI community. Are you in that? And if not, I can put your link in here. Yeah, there is a Discord, but it's not our Discord. And you'd like to see the Sims made accessible? Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, it would be interesting. Any kind of simulation. I mean, I'd love F1. I would love truck sim. I know I've been saying it for years, but any kind of sim, that'd be really cool. Train sim's probably the ones that the category that's got the most usable.
Hi all.
But hey Josh, how's it going? I saw you did a flight yesterday on the video from Solaris. How'd that go? I didn't get to watching the landing. You might know actually, Josh. We were having this discussion. I was trying to figure out how to get First Officer to turn on LNAV, VNAV, and Command A, because it doesn't do it on departure, and it still has this thing where, like, I have to turn it on with a keyboard.
It's the full 747.
And I have to let go of the stick.
You can also feel the engines in a lot of things in all the 5 galleys and visit the cockpit.
I have to let go of the stick to do it, and then the plane's nose started dropping, obviously, because I'm trying to use the keyboard with turning it LNAV, VNAV, and Command A on, and use the stick. I reset my engage LNAV, VNAV, and AP to what Tyler suggested of all at the same altitude.
I'm just going to get rid of that because I'm actually struggling at the moment.
Okay. All at the same altitude of 300, because I did have them like 2, 3, 400. But whatever I seem to do, it just doesn't seem to want to engage them properly, and I have to do it myself, which is kind of annoying. Wow, so it's the full 747 they've got in that museum. You can visit the gallery. Wow, that's amazing. What a relic that is. Wow, yeah. That would be a great tour, for sure. I mean, I've never been on a 747 even today, like a 747-8 or whatever, but 200, that would be cool to have an experience on one. Is it a KLM one?
Robert Wooten. Yet I won't have a listen to the flight of Josh.
The flight of Josh, yeah. Oh, it was a 747-200 combi, yeah.
Tyler
Back to the
Chambliss.
chat, yeah.
I'd love to fly on a 747, but every day the chances of that get smaller and smaller.
Yeah, unfortunately so, Tyler. Yeah, 747's going out. Still some eight passengers knocking around. I think Lufthansa still have some. But really, there's not all that many. I don't think there's any US carriers who still have 747s. So yeah, in the US you're kind of stuck. I mean, there might still be some cargo carriers knocking around. I don't know, but certainly not passenger ones.
Donations are not necessary, but if you would like to support the stream in any way, visit https://www.paypal.me/picolots. Arrays. LNAV, BNAV, and Command A turned on perfectly yesterday. Had a weird problem with, I think, air systems where I couldn't turn off the master caution and couldn't figure out exactly what the issue was.
Maybe something to do with cabin pressure. Yeah, that's always not good. If problem with that is if the cabin depressurizes, there's no way to get it back pressurized properly. So what do you have yours set to, Josh, in terms of altitudes to engage LNAV, VNAV, and Command A? Because everyone seems to have them set to something different.
Robert,
I mean, it shouldn't matter,
yes,
but
it's
it just never seems to.
There are also videos from it on YouTube. And there is also here in Holland a hotel in a 747, with a room and an engine.
Oh yeah, I've heard about the hotels, the 747 hotel thing, Robert. Yeah, that's so cool. Staying in a 747 room.
All three of those for me is set to 500 AGL. That seems to be the sweet spot for me.
Okay, I'm going to try them all on the same altitude then, Josh. Yeah, maybe it was something to do with them all being on different altitudes. I had them like 3, 4, and 500, I think, respectively, or something. You know, they were supposed to come on one every 100 feet, but sometimes it would turn heading select on, but that was about it. It never turned LNAV on, or VNAV or Command A, which is weird because I was doing the briefing as well. I told it we had a SID, so it should. But yeah.
Tyler Chambliss. I bet the 747 is gonna sound amazing in MSFS.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to hear that 747 in MSFS and the 777.
My landing yesterday, Command B was on, yet autopilot disengaged itself at 500 or so AGL. I think it's because because I put a landing alt in trying to fix cabin pressure. Tyler Chambliss. It'd be nice if PMDG would do other Boeing aircraft, the 757 and 767 in particular.
Maybe, Josh, maybe that or wind. What was the wind like? Sometimes it'll kick AP off if it just can't handle the wind. Definitely had that before. And I've got to not touch this trim wheel. If I touch this wheel, this AP's coming out. I'm telling you. Yeah, I did that in P3D. I just haven't done it yet in MSFS, and because they don't use the honeycomb app in MSFS, you just use the keyboard assignment thing in the settings. It's a pain in the arse to use. It really is.
Remember, but it was pretty calm when on the ground. Robert Hood. What I can do is go to the museum and make recordings when walking in the plane. I have visited for like 5 times. It is a very great place to come back to. And there is a simulator from the 737.
Oh right, I manually redirected it to, it goes to, so it tries to send it to, I think it's like program data, here we go, tries to send it to program data, but it really needs to go to program files, x86. So you don't need 2, you just need 1. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's not the end of the world if it sends it there, but it's pretty useless. I mean, it's not going to use it, so yeah. Wait, is this in PMDG or in some other plane? Oh, so tramp shouldn't have any impact on that. Maybe it's not putting your IRS position in correctly. You might have to manually copy the position from, you know, the last position thing, and then put it in, put the coordinates in. Yeah, like page 2 line 4 left to page 1 4 right. Yeah. Copy the current position thing into the IRS and see if it'll fix it. Oh yeah, it leaves so much stuff in the registry as well. Whenever I install add-ons, I still get the thing that says P3D, do you want to install it for version 4? What? Version 4's not been on this computer for ages. Yeah. And then let me look at. You can't remember, but it was pretty calm on the ground. Maybe it was the landing altitude then, Josh. Yeah, maybe you just thought maybe you thought you didn't need after a certain point. Robert, you can go to the museum and make recording. Yeah, I mean, oh, you visited it 5 times. Wow, that sounds fucking great. I mean, and there's a simulator there, a 737 as well. Wow, yeah, what a great place. Should take a day trip there. In the Netherlands, there's a 747-200 full plane and some other simulators, and apparently they've even got a hotel inside of a 747. Yeah.
I'm still here, I've just got some more speakers and it's just music.
Yeah. Okay, so first officer's got 24 right in, that's correct. Flaps should be fine at 30. And auto brakes. Just 2.
How much longer on this one?
9,000 feet. 30 minutes. That should go water brakes 3 because it's 9,000 feet. Let's do TFM's thing. KCLE. .30 degrees, 142 knots, that will be fine. And we got a vectored arrival, but we got no ATC to give us vectors, I don't think, so that's not going to help, but we'll just go with it.
Robert Putin. One nice thing. Someone from my family is flight attendant at KLM and working on the 747. She did show me a lot of things when we went to the museum.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh, that's. Yeah. When do they think you're gonna get that new computer? Oh yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah. Simming on low end stuff. No, don't worry. Oh yeah, then Robert. So you got the perfect person right there to give you the tour around the 747. I guess there's probably some differences in the 200s layout, obviously, at the museum to the. What I tell you, what does your family member? What do they work on? They used to do the 74400. Do the old Amsterdam to Saint Martin route. Princess Juliana. Yeah, too many damn engines. That's the unfortunate thing. Too much fuel. Yeah, we're really lucky to have it in the simulator.
Robert Putin. Yes, that flight on the 747-400 and I think also the 800.
Nice, yeah. Oh yeah, and I think there was a message earlier about PMDG doing a 7.5 and a 7.67. Yeah, I think, well, there's this other company, this Bluebird Simulations, doing those in Microsoft, so I think the PMDG try and do planes so they're not going to clash with those developers. And to be honest, they've already got enough on their plate. Like, they've got to do the 777, 7.4, they got the 777X, they got the 7.3 Max. Given the level of detail PMDG like to do, that's a lot. Yeah. To see the little differences, I think. And Quality Wings is supposed to be doing a 787, yeah. So PMDG won't do that, although Quality Wings have gone very quiet, so. I wish it would be nice if PMDG did a 787. It's a very modern plane, but yeah, not at the moment. 777X is going to be very modern, so that'll be interesting. I think it's one of the first times I've seen that, because the 777X, which is the new one, hasn't even been released by Boeing yet, and PMDG are already getting data on it, so they're obviously kind of working in partnership with Boeing on that one. Yeah, we're going to get that one pretty much, you know, I mean, usually we have to wait for planes, like, I mean, the 737 is from, like, what, the NG is from the, what, 2000s, something like that. and the 747s from like the 70s, 80s. Normally we have to wait for planes, but yeah, this one's coming right up. Right, getting an altitude here. Let's do that. Alright guys, we're on the descent. Have a look.
Nice.
Cleveland, traffic, Vision 2 Delta Whiskey, leaving 51340, Golden to arrival 24.
Set. Check.
Auto.
Set.
Landing now.
Check. Completed.
Checklist complete. That all set?
Yeah, there's some companies here that do that. Just book a whole bunch of time and then sell it out to customers. Oh, I know, none of this fucking waiting around. Ugh. I hate airports. You know, the whole check-in, go through security, they take everything off you, then they say, oh, we need your white cane. It's like, okay then, how do you want me to navigate around? Okay, you have the cane, yeah, you know, I mean, they gotta check it, but still, it's annoying, and, you know, they go through all your stuff. They won't do that again in a hurry. Yeah, I'll teach them. I mean, in Spain, it was like one extreme to the other. When we went through Manchester in England, they tested absolutely everything, and then when we went to Spain in North Gran Canaria, they didn't care. I mean, they just, I don't even know if they scanned it. I mean, they probably did, but they just took it all through. They didn't take anything out. They didn't look inside any of the hand luggage. They didn't they didn't do nothing. Just they weren't bothered. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And then they'll take the laptop out, and you can hear them like smashing it down into the container. And like, well, it can be just because it's not your stuff. You better be careful with it. Like, you smash the laptop up. It's, you know. I mean, they don't give a shit. They'll just, they just smash it down, chuck stuff around like doesn't matter. So you can see, guys, here on this waypoint, if you're ever wondering, it says Getty 280 slash, and you can see you've got 17,000 and 23,000. That's because the restriction is between 17,000 or 23,000. So the plane could be at any point, but it cannot go below 17 and it cannot be above 23. You can see we're at 20,500 and still headed to the waypoint. So. It still does, yeah. It just means it thinks that you need, well, it's basically, it wants to descend faster, but it can't descend faster if you don't put the spoilers out, because if it does that, it's going to gain a whole load of speed. So the only way to allow it to descend faster is to give it some spoiler, and then it can go down at a way faster. last I heard he was making a start on the 7.4 and just finishing up with the 7.3 alongside it. Just making a start on the roadmap, making a start on all the panels. Well, the problem is back in 2020 now, where if you open the FMC, 2020 starts stuttering. You know, the sound just goes weird. And the same with the panels. So you have to go to TFM's process priority and change it to low at the moment, and then that will fix it. Yeah, I think it was, and then it wasn't. Okay, maybe.
Tell me where again this all got to.
I think we fixed one thing and brought the other problem back with the stuttering, because the thing is, I think it's to do with the ILS. Remember how the ILS distance wasn't updating, like it never changed. Well, now it's updating because Andy turned that back on, but that's now meaning that it's causing TFM to bring some lag into the system, and you know, MSFS is lagging again. So fix one thing, another thing comes back, you know.
Arrangs. I didn't have an issue with TFM yesterday in regard to Sutters. I think the stuttering was more the shadow connection.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, Josh. You on the preview hotfix, the one where the ILS was fixed, I'm guessing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm having the issue. Rob's having the issue. It's easily fixable by changing process priority, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Right, we should be slowing down here to 250, which we are.
Tracking.
Oh, the speed brake one. Oh, so like the pin's broken.
Lights look as well. Anything on this lights look Speed brake is on.
Oh no. So you can't keep the speed brakes out because it's going to keep coming back in. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let's bring our speed back to 190. Coming up here on 15 miles out. Any updates on what, sorry? Oh, right. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Not since the ILS fix. We need a bit of speed brake to help our speed.
Rings. In my video yesterday I started using the Kayakai pmdg 737 sound pack. It's actually quite good.
Get down to 3,000. Yeah, I agree, Josh. It is pretty good. Cleveland traffic vision 2 Delta Whiskey is a 737, 10 miles ILS, 245.
Virtual log. 1,775 down. 197. 1,687 down. 197. 1,569 down. 198. 1,389 down. 199. 1,300.
He really does not want to slow down.
199.
Gear down.
167 down. 100. 1,052 down.
2,500.
775.
2 was our final approach speed. Now we picked up the glide there. Not too bad of an approach. Got flap 30. Landing. Cleveland, Vision 2 Delta Whiskey is 4
Continuous.
miles. Landing,
Arm.
runway 24.
Down. Set.
Checklist complete.
Phew, right, 737 decided to go slippery on us there, which wanted to increase speed. That's all it wanted to do. We had to throw out everything there. Right.
1,000.
Yeah, Josh, we're using the KK one now. It is actually quite good, I think. The pack, I think I'm going to keep it. Yeah. It's a good balance. Alright, not too bad. We'll take that. What was our landing rate? Negative 350. Yeah, not bad. We'll hold it, we'll take it. And doesn't seem like there's anyone around, so I'll just down bat him. Let's set our brakes here. Let's do FSA. Second our flight, so it doesn't abort it. If we just go to a gate.
Page 1 of 1.
Okay, CLE.
Press ESC to resume. Press space to load/save. Press home to restart.
Fine.
Press into main menu.
There we go. And we are out of gate.
Minimize UI panel. Button.
Cleveland 2.0 is clear, 248. Okay. Get our APU on. We can go services, set the chocks, request the ground power. I don't know what happened to PAX as well, you guys. I mean, PAX just stopped announcing altogether. I don't know where PAX disappeared to. It was working, we boarded passengers, and then at some point the flight attendant disappeared. Must have just jumped out of the plane, I don't know. Let's see what's going on with PAX here. Oh, something bugged out here. It says Vision 2 Delta Whiskey, obviously taxiing in. Expected arrival N/A. Then neutral 58%. But there's no, yeah, we're not getting any announcements. I don't know. Something bugged out there. Well, Right, we'll get our engine shut off. Our APU should be good. Right, engine shut down. Go to our electrical panel. Switch over to ground power. Do our secure flow. Yeah, I don't even think PAX is going to deboard, is it? Let's see here, maybe if we open the door. Open entry. See if it... Okay, no, I don't know then. PAX died along the way. End the flight. This flight is not complete. Well, I don't know how to complete it, dude. Alright. Ah, there we go. Turn them off, get the passengers deboarding. Now it's deboarding, although, yeah, we we had no flight attendant announcements. There we go, APU's going. We'll just end the flight, save the flight report. Let's have a look at our... Let's have a look at our record, shall we? See what they have to say. So we departed on time. Supposed to arrive 1952. We arrived 1948. They were 76% satisfied apparently. Negative 364, that's about right. 203. Extremely ahead of schedule. That's what it says. When were we extremely ahead of schedule? We were 4 minutes on time. Or early. Soft landing. Unannounced diversion. What? This thing's wacko, dude. Extreme flying conditions. And another one. What? This thing is absolute wacko. When did we announce a diversion? Someone says they'll definitely be recommending us. Oh, and that's what we got. Well... Okay, I mean, that's just the weirdest flight report I've seen. But, okay. Whatever. Anyway, I think that's going to do it. So yeah, pretty good flight there. Testing out the sound pack and interacting with the chat. Thanks everyone for dropping in. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you in the next stream. Probably be a weekly update video tomorrow, actually, if I can find enough to put in a weekly update video. So yeah, we'll see. But anyway, have a good rest of your day, guys. We'll see you later.